All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Taking Up Space, a Michelle A. Mayer podcast. Always excited about coming forward, y'all. Today's no different. Today I have a word for you today. This is my end of the year wrap up, even though I'll be coming forth with more podcasts before the year is over. I'm winding down the year and I'm reflective on all things that have transpired this year and the years before. I'm looking at my life and I'm looking at things that have transpired and all the body of work that I have come forth and expounded upon in the hopes that we all of us, every single one of you, partake in some way the truths that I have expounded upon. Y'all, I have literally searched deeply within myself. God has used my life as a testament so that I was forced to come forward in offering up these perspectives, and they are expensive. They are very expensive, and they've cost a lot, and they've cost so much that the testimonies are the experiences of the cost of them. I hope I speak this. Father, show me the way in which I should convey this truth in power and integrity and in truth. So, in looking back on the past year and the past years that I've come before you and laid all of my testimonies and all of my spiritual interpretations at your feet, I've done so that you all can partake some of. I'm your sister in life, regardless to ethnicity, regardless to specific socioeconomic levels. I am fundamentally your sister in life. I'm the childhood friend before you got your title that you would align to, and you would call me your friend. You would liken yourself to me in the sense that you will see some sort of commonality in me. And I come forth and I give you all of these interpretations. I give you all of the variances in my communications in the hope that I can touch you spiritually so you can partake of this knowing that I have, because it has been so monumental in my life. But if you don't take it, right? If you just leave it with me and you just either are in wonderment of what I'm saying, and you're just inquisitive and you want to listen, and you take it no further than just listening, and you don't allow it to resonate in your life, or you are the building blocks of these testimonies that I have in my life. You're one of the people that I've had experiences with in life that have allowed me to come forth with these testimonies. And you're just intoxicated in being, a nemesis. Yet you don't tap in. You don't allow the truth of what I'm conveying to you in whatever capacity to resonate in your life so that you see you and you become better. Then it's not that I haven't done what I was supposed to do. I've done what I'm to do. It's that you now are responsible for that decision. And I was thinking to this when I was preparing to come forward today, because all of my interactions on here are organic. They're not scripted, but it brought me to this chapter in Galatians, and I want to speak it to you because I really think that God has called me to say this to you today in the way it came to me, okay? So Galatians chapter 6, it says, "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted." So verse 1 says, if someone amongst you has faulted you, has done a wrong to you, or to somebody else and you're privy to it, you that have a spiritual enlightenment, restore them with the spirit of meekness. Don't restore them in haughtiness and I'm better than you and you need to do this and that before you come up before me. No, I am you. And guess what? I might not have done exactly like you've done, but I done something and I understand. And because I understand, I'm coming before you to show you you don't have to do that. That's not the way, friend. The way is this, because that's going to be more expensive to you. That right there will harm you generationally. But if I understand why you would possibly do such things, and I'll help you address why you do that, so that you can divert your attention to maybe another alternate path, because that's not it. That's the spirit of meekness that the scripture is speaking to. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. Don't see your brethren or your sister struggling with something and then say, because let me say this, I wiped my nose on this channel because I saw somebody make an innuendo on social media about drug use or something. I don't do drugs. We can get that clear right now. I don't do drugs. And it's very cold in here. So I'm in that stage in life where I get very, very hot. So it's about 60 degrees in here right now. So my nostril and my body is affected by the coldness, but I'm still not cold. I know many women can understand that. So if you see me with my nose running, it is literally because it's cold in here. But nonetheless, bear ye one another's burdens, so fulfill the law of Christ. And he's saying, bear ye one another's burdens in the sense that don't ostracize somebody else's situation. It's not for us as children of God to get to any level of knowing and then look back and judge people and act like we've never had any struggles, even if you haven't had those particular struggles. Bear somebody else's burden. If you see somebody else struggling with something, go over there and help him or her with it. Help them carry their cross if it's overwhelming to them. Come upon them in love and friendship and commonality. Don't ever get so egotistical within yourself and in the lie and in the dream and in the fantasy that you don't see yourself in one another. That's a slippery place to be. Don't ever get to a place where you look down on somebody because of situations that they're struggling with. Instead, go upon them and help them in whatever capacity you can with it. That is what scripture is speaking to when it says bear one another's burdens. And so you fulfill the law of Christ. You stand in this level of consciousness. This is a consciousness, y'all. Christ is a way of thinking. And it must be ascended to, and it must be managed. Once you ascend to this level of consciousness, it's second nature for you to behave in such ways, even though the world will look at you as weak and easy because of it. It goes back to what I was saying about how many people believe when you come forth and you tell them that you believe in God, that you are a target or an easy victim. Someone that they can deceive and run game on and be underhanded with. When it's completely different, altogether a lie. You must be careful when you deal with people with this type of consciousness, because they're not enthralled in the projection. They don't care about a look. You see, the look comes from the lesser magical systems, the Phoenician systems. These are the things some of the Moors and all of those of ancient time were doing. They would dress up and put all this kind of stuff on and go before you and dance and play music and talk a certain way and burn all kinds of exotic oils and woods and resins. And they knew how to appease everybody by looks, smoke and mirrors. But when you have this type of consciousness, it supersedes a look. This consciousness goes before you like a shield. It is the ear beyond what your physical ear will hear. It is the eye beyond what your physical eye can see. You will have eyes all around you because you're dealing in a supernatural energy. It's not just the physicality of you. It's not just the genetic makeup that you have. You're not just, okay, I'm from a particular vine and I have a body, a mind, and all of these different things. Yeah, great. You need that. That's the fundamentals. But this consciousness and alignment to all of these other things make you greater. It's the invisible force that attracts all that you need when you need it. So once you tapped into this type of consciousness, you can bear one another's burdens. I can see you struggling, friend, and I cannot deny you. If I see you struggling, I cannot leave you like that. I cannot. I don't care if I'm on my way to an appointment and it's important. I've got to stop and deal with you. It's a magnet to those that need it. For if a man think himself to be something, when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Living the dream. You bought into the lie. And you can believe the lie all day long. It doesn't make me any difference. All I do is look at you like somebody that's believing a lie. You can dress the part. You can talk the part. All the lesser magical stuff. You can have all of that. But if you don't have a relation to something greater than you, and if you're not grounded in truth and knowing, you're just blowing in the wind, friend. You're just waiting for something to come and uproot you. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone and not in another. That's the part. So I'm going to keep reading. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. This is the part. This is the reason why I came forward today. And this is the meat of the conversation. I can lay before you all of my philosophies. I can lay before you experiences and truths that I have earned in this life. But because I've had some profound experiences that I just can't keep to myself, and that it is my hope and wish to stand in the truth and the integrity of what is being conveyed in chapter 6 of the book of Galatians. It's my job, because I've been blessed so much by the Holy Spirit, by God, that I got to tap back. I got to reach back and give back. Yet if you do not tap in, if you don't take anything from it, if all you want to do is come and mock, I don't care either way. That's fine. Mock. I'm going to come on here and deliver upon my promise regardless. If you come and you take a bit of what I give you and you say I'm in agreement with it or I'm in disagreement with it, that's what this is for. But if you come and you don't take anything, if you leave with nothing because you intentionally came with wickedness in your spirit, if you don't see any wrong in wickedness that you do in life and those people that come upon you to minister to you so that you rise above that wicked way of thinking, you don't hurt anybody but yourself. Not saying that everybody that watches me on social media is wicked. I'm just giving you a full ideology of what I'm coming forth with, or what my intentions are and what I'm conveying to you today. If you don't want to be redeemed from your wickedness in any way, if you don't want to be held accountable to your wickedness in any way, I don't care if you don't align to the God of the Hebrews, if you don't bow to Jesus, if you don't align to the God of the Hebrews. No, this is if you are out here doing wickedness, if you stirring up wickedness against people because of your own stuff, and someone comes and aligns to you and tries to help you overcome that aspect of yourself that forces you to feel that you need to do such things, and you don't partake of it. If they come to you and they bear part of that burden with you, they help you bear your cross, and in them helping you bear your cross, they are ministering to you so that you change your mind, so that you don't have to bear such a cross continuously, and you don't align to it. Friend, you've harmed no one but you, because Scripture said, every man shall bear his own cross. There's only going to be a point in which that person is going to assist you in bearing your cross. That person is not indebted to you to help you bear your cross for the duration of their life or yours. There's seasons to everything. Yet, when that person comes upon you and assists you in bearing your cross, and they teach you the righteous things, whether you accept them or not, you were told, then there is a time when you must stand in the results of your actions, and no one is going to have pity for you. Verse 7, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And that's my word to you. You got to reap what you sow. At the end of the day, it's not God is bad. It's not God is good. And this is why I say, it doesn't matter if you believe in the God of the Hebrews or not. It gets to a point when you're out here, if you're out here and you're living in a way that's affecting other people negatively, regardless if you believe in the God that I believe in or you believe in some other God, the equalizer in both of the interactions, the thing that supersedes the entire equation, is the truth. Is activity and truth. Actions and truth. It supersedes anything. It supersedes what spiritual system you align to. You could be of the house of Israel, and you could be out here doing wickedness, just pure wickedness against your own house or against someone else that does not align to the to the house of Israel. Do you think God is going to honor you because you've done wickedness? God is a God of truth, friend. God is not a God that just says, okay, these are my children and they can do whatever they want. It does not work. Where in the Bible, where in any of the holy books do you see this? This God is big on order and hierarchy. In any spiritual system, it is righteousness and truth. Once you boil it down to the truth of the actions of either party, then righteousness comes into play. What is the righteous aspect of this? What has been violated? In order for something to be violated, there must have been a code or a law. And that law must be aligned to some form of righteousness. This is my word for you today. I wrote some things down because I was thinking earlier of end of the year prayers that we can pray to put on God's ear some things that we've been dealing with. Like I said, I'm one of those people that I study my walk. I'm not impulsive. I'm methodical. I'm patient, y'all. I know many people, my daughter would say that I'm not, but I'm very patient. But once I've come to a conclusion, I'm swift. It might take me a long time to come to the conclusion, but once I get the full truth of what it is, I don't need to delay any longer. And I was looking at my life, and I think I would encourage all of us to look at our lives over the last 12 months, or even use the last 12 months as really the focal point, but take it back years. Get a full plethora of an understanding of what has transpired in your life over the last 5 years, 3 years. And begin to renegotiate your relationships. Begin to not renegotiate them in a sense that you're going to cut people off and all of that kind of stuff, and you're only doing it out of that kind of spirit. No, there may be some people you need to cut off, but renegotiate your relationships in the spirit of elevating people to a higher level that you once had maybe in another category, or demoting some people based upon action and truth. And do not feel bad about it. How do you stop yourself from feeling bad? You cross-reference your actions with those people against what is written in Galatians chapter 6. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. This is how you can justify if it is the season to make decisions on people, on renegotiating your relationships with certain people. Have you assisted people in bearing their crosses? Have you done as much as you can to assist that person in overcoming whatever challenges frustrate you with that person? Have you and that person had a conversation? Have you done what you think you should have done to really better the situation with this person, or lead this person to a mindset mentally and spiritually so that they can overcome and do better? If you have, and only if you have, then you can renegotiate your relationships with those people. It's time to renegotiate your relationships to those people. And in doing so, how do you renegotiate them? You determine what level in which they partake in your future. Do they have a role? And if so, what role do they have? In doing so, you make life for yourself better. Because a lot of times we hold on to baggage that becomes very heavy to us. And mentally we're on another page, but the baggage from our past experiences are still lingering, and we're still being confronted with old states of mind that the baggage has consistently held on to, and it does affect our progression. So in some ways, you must demote them. You must put them off to an area of your life where you don't have that much interaction with them any longer, or you remove them from your life altogether. And in order to justify it, in order to make it fair, you've got to be able to look at your relationships and determine, have I done all that I could to show this person another way? Is there verifiable, documented levels of action that I've taken in doing so? And in doing so, You will determine, you will determine your prayer to God. This is what the children of Israel experienced with the Midianites. The children of Israel would need to cry out to God. They had exhausted every avenue that they could in dealing with the Midianites. But the Midianites just could not leave these people alone. For whatever reason, they were obsessed with these people so much and had benefited so much on the downtrodden nature that they had put these people in, that they all come together as a group, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the children of the East. The Bible said they came so many that they were like grasshoppers for multitude, and camped out in front of these people's residences. These people are hiding in caves. All because of the Midianites. They had nothing. Friend, your enemy will take everything from you and will sit in your face and expect you to allow them to, and will hold you in judgment if you ever say no. They will use your faith and your love of God against you if you ever say, get out of here. No. But I'm here to tell you that in this season, 2026, the remainder of 2025, the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the East, we are praying against them. We say no. No. You should have an abundant resume of experiences that you have had in wrestling with the Amalekites, the Midianites, and the children of the East, in goodness and in mercy. If you haven't, this is not your conversation. You're not ready enough to move in this direction. If you look back on your life work, if you look back on the wrestlings that you've had in your life, in honor and in integrity, in wrestling with these people, you have given them everything to better themselves. You pretty much taken their hand and impose your hand over it and try to write it out for them how they need to take advantage of the blessings of God and the gifts that come with it, and why them thinking and behaving in the way that they have is not conducive to goodness, greatness, and mercy in their lives. If you're anything like me, you'll come on and catch me at any time of the day on whatever social media platform you can find me on, speaking this truth. 365 days a year, every single day. I got a book. I got a podcast. I have Bible studies. I come on Sunday. You name it. I got memes. I got a website with blogs speaking to this, trying to turn these people around, to show them the light. But if they don't take it, it's a terrible thing, but that's on them. At the end of the day, we get to junctions like we are now, where we cry out to our God, like the children did when the Midianites came upon them. It was a breaking point. And in that instance, that breaking point came, and the children cried out to their God, and God heard them. And God moved on their behalf. In the seasons coming, to establish the change that needs to happen, we must ask God for things that the Midianites and the Amalekites have taken away from. Because the children of Israel were abundant and prosperous in many seasons of their existence. They may not have been firing off on all cylinders, but they had provisions. They had stability. They had peace of mind. They had enough provisions to last through winter. They had provisions in vats that stored away in case the earth didn't yield a reward as it normally would, in case there was no rain for a certain season. They had sustenance stored away for them. But when the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east came, they took all of this. So much so that the children don't even live in tents. Israel were tent-dwelling people. They changed the way that these people lived because they were being so impoverished and berated and overtaken by these people for no reason. None. The only reason these people had doing this was because of their God. Their God. They go from being tent dwellers to dwelling in caves and in dens hidden within mountains. They're hiding. They're living a life of hiding because of the impoverished nature that these people have imposed upon them, not by their will. These people didn't have a choice. They're impoverished because of the will of these other people. And they cry out to God and they say, we need you, Father. We need you. And it reminded me of Joel chapter 3, verse 23. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God. For he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. Hallelujah. Selah. Selah, Selah. That's a heightened note. That's the Selah meaning to keep that note right there. Stay there. Stay right there. And the floors shall be full of wheat, and the fats shall overflow with wine and oil. Selah, Selah, Selah. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, that have dealt wondrously with you. And my people shall never be ashamed. Selah. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old man shall dream dreams. Your young man shall see visions. These are the things that come to pass when you pray against the Midianites. You got to. Many of us don't want to pray against the Midianites because we know the power of our prayer. I don't want to pray against the Midianites. I want the Midianites to change their ways. I want want the Amalekites to go away. I want the children of East to turn their back and walk off. But in me wanting all of these things, I delayed the progress of God. That is not my decision. That is not my job. That is not your job, friend, to decide what these people should do. It's not your job to determine what the people that are plaguing you in your life should do. You were not smart enough to determine their entrance in your life. You have not been smart enough to be able to manage in detail their walk about all of the things of your life. So how are you able to determine how they will leave your life? Friend, these people, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the children of the East, if the children of Israel did not pray against them, friend, they would still be plaguing the children today. They would never have left. God was waiting on the children to pray to him regarding this. God said, I want you to just let me tap in. God is waiting on you to give him the reins to that buggy. Give God control over it. And how do you do it? You do it in prayer. You don't need the Midianites and all of them to be revealed to you. Who cares who they are in individually? I don't care. I just want them to I want them to cease and desist. But not only that, you don't just want them to cease and desist. You want them to learn the lesson. This is what Galatians was speaking to. Verse 5, chapter 6. For every man shall bear his own burden. Well, just before that, it said in verse 2, bear ye one another's burden and so fulfill the law of Christ. Yes, but you don't bear someone's burden eternally. You assist someone by bearing their burden with them until they get strong enough to bear it on their own. You walk with them and assist them in carrying their own cross, and you minister to them. Everywhere that they find you, they know that they can get an encouraging word of wisdom to help them bear their burden. Yet if they don't listen, and all they do is just act like they're listening to you, just to observe you and to deny you and to get their strength up, then you will leave them. When you leave them, they're just going to be a little stronger so that they can continue to bear the burden until they get weak again. And there will be no one that will come to help bear the burden for them. They are on their own. The prayer is in letting them see themselves. You've got to allow them to see them. That is bearing their burden. Surely I'll minister to you and come with you and assist you in bearing your burden for a season, friend. But you got to bear it on your own. You've got to see you. You've got to be able to see yourselves. For the many of people in the world that create difficulties in other people's lives, look at the Midianites. The Midianites came upon Israel to create difficulty for Israel. They did not want Israel to be successful in any way. They did not want the men of Israel or the women to be able to support themselves in any way, not even fundamentally. If it were up to the Midianites, the children of Israel would have nothing. That is what the Bible was conveying. And God says, you are going to experience that. How would it feel if you experienced that? If someone came upon you and siphoned all of your resources in front of the world? The Midianites came upon Israel amongst other nations, isolated Israel and siphoned all of their resources. They were walking amongst Israel's environment as if their environment, Israel's environment, were the Midianites' environment. Talking down on Israel. You ever had somebody, I'm not even going to get into that. Let them see themselves. It will be good for them. Let them see themselves. Let them overcome like you did. If you were able to overcome, let them overcome. Because I'm here to tell you that even though God is going to restore the years that the locust and the cankerworm and the palmer worm and all that came upon you ate away, and that all the former rain and all the rains that were held up in the cloud come upon you in the first month because of your faithfulness, your long suffering. I'm talking about long suffering, friend. Your ability to withstand the humiliation. Can the Midianites withstand the humiliation? Can the Midianites stand being exposed and naked and vulnerable without anyone coming to lend them a covering or a cloak? Just everyone coming and walking by looking at them in their nakedness. And let not any of it be scripted. Because was it scripted for was it scripted for Israel? Did Israel have a play-by-play understanding of what's going on? It was severe for Israel. It was surely a reality for Israel. Israel didn't think it was a joke or a game. It was real for Israel. Let it be real for them. This is the only way you overcome. This is the only way you overcome. Friend, I tell you these things because I know. I'm not living in the past. I am leveling the playing field in love. Because had I not experienced such things myself, I would not know the power of them. There's power in this. I'm here to tell you, it's power, it's knowing. The only way to true enlightenment is through experience. There's no other way. None. It's the only way for real change to occur is for you to see what it's like. The only way for someone to have real and lasting change is for them to experience it. For them to experience what it's like to be on the receiving end of their actions. That is the only way. And if you're anything like me, you will spend many seasons begging and pleading for people to take heed to truths that you've paid for that were very expensive, just so that they don't have to experience them, because you know how monumental and how hurtful and how frightening they are. And this is what led me to this topic. This right there is what led me to this chapter in Galatians. I wrote, to bear the weight of all things. You, in your loving nature, you will try to bear the weight of all things, just so somebody else doesn't experience it. Because you know what it's like. You don't want it for nobody. But I'm here to tell you that God put it on me that sometimes it's necessary for people to experience it. There's no other way to really know other than experience. Because without you knowing, you just keep going out doing things that cause these types of travesties in life. The Midianites, without them ever having to pay the price for their actions, would have just gone out and continued this type of behavior to people. They would never have known the degree to which they were invoking wickedness, lest it befall them. It was not so that God could just get rid of the Midianites. It was because the Midianites just wouldn't quit. I don't believe, and I might be naive, I don't believe people really know the extent of their actions at times. The only way you know the extent of your actions is when you experience it. That has been my truth in life. There have been many things that have happened in my life that I was out here doing. And I'm just out here doing them because, I've always done it. So, okay, well, it worked. And then they seem to be doing all right. And they seem to be doing all right until it happened to me. And then I had a newfound respect for that. I would check myself and say, okay, wait a minute. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was the way I was doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the person known for that. I didn't know. But me not knowing was not an excuse. It was not, me being ignorant was not a buffer that would delay life from showing me the error in my way. Life would show me the error. So that's my word for all of you today. And that is, a lot of times we stand in front of mountains way too long because we're hoping to rectify or to attack the mountain in a particular way that is just not conducive to God's will. We want to do it our way. Was it your way that got you in that situation? Or was it God that got you in there? Or was it somebody else? What exactly led you there? And then, is it your will to still be in it? In all your wrestlings with it, has your way been paramount enough that it has been wise enough to get you out of it? No. God is waiting on you to give it to God. And not just blanket give it to God. Give it to God with directives. Let God decide if your directives that you give him work for him. But just give it to him. Here you go. I'm done with this. I don't care either way how you do it. I'm wiser. I'm better. I'm compassionate enough to not wish it on nobody. But I know what has led me to my truth. And it has been experience. Experience is the best teacher of all. It's the wisest teacher. It's the teacher that is created just for you. Each level of experience is fine-tuned for you and you alone. And if you were able to deal with all that came with that and convey it in love and truth to those that dished it out to you in hopes that they tap in just a little bit to that truth, to stop, to cease and desist, and they didn't see it as that. They saw it as you being afraid of them and them being stronger than you and you begging for mercy and all this nonsense, but really you were really trying to help them. Let them stand in that. Now you partake of that. May God create a path for you that you partake in all of the experiences that you have laid out so abundantly for other people. And don't let it be scripted. Let it be unique just to you, just like it was unique to all the other people that you allowed such to befall. That's the only way that you learn. And let it be just as open and blatant to the world as it was when you experienced it. All the same parts that made it so monumental for me and all of them other people, let it be that way for you. And regardless to if you align to the God of the Hebrew house or you align to some other God, tap into that which you align to and allow that to lead you through, just like everybody else had to. This is the only way. It's the only way, y'all. I wrote here, allow them to see themselves and allow who they are to be seen openly as they desired for you. Just as the children of Israel had to be openly condemned and siphoned by the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the children of the east, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the children of east must have had to have gone through that same thing. Allow for all of those to experience, all those that you've wrestled with in your life, to experience the wrestling. And let it be open in a way that, like your wrestling was open. And let the world see in their wrestling if they triumph or not. Just like they saw with you. What better experience is there? How do you get the fullness of God any other way? What better scenario? You've already tried one person. You've already been tried, and they've seen the glory in that. In whatever dynamic, nobody's losing no sleep on it. But that is the prayer, because we're moving on regardless. 2026, closed door. Fresh year, a fresh perspective. We're building upon things we know. We're redefining our relationships. And we're moving forward in strength and character. Better because of all of the hurdles that we walked through in the years and the seasons before. You're loved more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.